Thought we did a better job of, not giving them as much free offense as we have in the last few games. So, they're a highly skilled young group over there, and if you give them, zones and easy entries and room to use their skill, comes out. And obviously, it came out a few times tonight, but they get paid to play the game too. So I thought we did a good job overall, and it was a huge win.
What were the details that you ironed out? It looked like from the beginning you guys are winning the middle of the ice.
Yeah, obviously it's the area everyone wants to get to, and I'm not going to give it away, but I think we just did a better job of starting in the middle, and then you can always expand out from there. Back pressure was really good. Our gaps were good defensively, and like I said, you give those guys odd man rushes off bad pinches or things like that. They're dangerous, and we did a better job of being patient in our game. That's probably the best word to say, I guess, just being patient.
5 of 8 points on the homestand. How would you assess it overall?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a tough stretch of games. You look back at the last 3.5 weeks. I mean, we haven't had 2 days off in a long time. So obviously, that's the NHL, and every team goes through those stretches. But it was nice to get home off that sort of crazy road, way more road games and home games there for a while. Get home and kind of get some practices and get in our own building and own bed. So it was a good homestand. Get a couple days off here, and then we'd like to finish strong before Christmas.
Josh, you've seen the Patrick Laine one-timer, of course. So what do you think of Connor's save and then catching the pop fly out of the air there?
Yeah, I mean, he's unbelievable. Best goalie in the league, in my view, and you got to see it every night. Take it for granted probably just when you watch it over and over again. But I was reminiscing on that the other day. I think when I played my 600 game, I was thinking, man, I probably played 500, at least with him in the net, and that's pretty lucky to have as a player. So, what he does, things like that, he makes it look easy, and I can guarantee you it's not, because not many do it. So, special talent, and really generational goalie in my view.
4 of those shots came on the power play, and very big saves from Hellebuyck. Did you guys hear Patrick's comments before the game about the Patrick flu or the Laine flu or whatever it may have been, and what were your thoughts on Hellebuyck's response to that?
I'm not sure what you're talking about, but he has a great shot. Obviously, Patty's scored a lot of goals from that area of the ice, like some of the other great shooters in the league, and we saw it here for a long time. So definitely. The pre-scout with since his return, their power plays produced some goals from over there, and they've got the all the right-handed players. So we obviously tried to make it an emphasis of trying to not give him those one-timers, but when he did, Bucky was there and made some big saves.
What added element does Kyle Connor bring to that penalty kill?
Yeah, I mean, I think as a players. It gets them in the game, right? If we're in a period where there's a bunch of penalties against, and obviously top guys are sitting on your bench, having them out there, and Scheif mixes in as well, and some different personnel. I think he probably is thinking how the offensive player thinks, given that he's so dynamic himself. So maybe his reads, he can make some plays that way, and you see that him reading sticks and getting in lanes, but. He's obviously fast and has great feet, so our PK tries to be aggressive, and I think he's a perfect fit for that with the way he moves and anticipates the game.
Thank you.
On the line a one-timer, and then it goes up, and then you catch it. What did you see? Can you walk us through that from maybe the pass across?
Yeah, it's one of those things where, say, if I screw up, I can make a good save, So when they passed it down, I had lost it for a second, and I kind of locked my knees for just a half a second. By the time I picked it up, it was on its way to the net. So the only thing I could do was just flail and try to make something cool. And thank God I did.
You had a better view than maybe we did from up. Like if you don't catch that puck, was it likely going in the net, or it's going to hit you and go in, I guess?
It was coming down right on my head, and there's two guys crashing the net. So, I mean, you can play any type of what-if game you want, but I got my glove on it and stopped it and sent it out.
Patty joked before the game that he had yet to face you, and you must have had the Patty flu those games because you never played. Your response? Or
No
is that
flu,
your
no
play?
flu tonight. No flu tonight. He had a lot of shots tonight, and he's a good shooter,
Yeah.
but none for him.
For you, like, obviously you're reading off of players, the way they shoot and whatnot, having faced them in practice so many times, obviously the pre-scout, but on that power play for them, like, do you have an idea of kind of how it's going to go in the shots, and are you dialed in on that?
Yeah, definitely. Most power plays kind of run the same way and have similar skill sets. You just got to figure out who's a shooter and what they're trying to do, and kind of try to stay ahead of it.
Was there extra motivation after hearing those comments? You seem to be facing a lot of shots from him and stopping them. Was that in the back of your mind at all?
I didn't hear the comments, to be honest,
Till now.
till now.
What do you think of your team's power play today? Cashing in a couple times.
I mean, it's huge. That's how you win in this league, especially this time when things are getting tighter and teams are figuring out their game and bouncing back from bad games or whatnot. You got to bring your big guys got to bring their game on a consistent basis, and I thought they did tonight.
What do you think changed? Oh, sorry, Mike. What do you think changed in front of you? It looked like you guys really won the middle of the ice and the slot and a lot of the box outs. What helped with that tonight?
I think digging in and really adjusting our systems a little bit, it helps, and understanding where guys are going to be and where you're expected to be as a teammate. So, I think we were pretty good at that.
Mums and mentors sort of trip coming up here adds a little extra excitement, I guess, to get out on the road with some special people.
Yeah, it should be fun. I hope they have a good time, and hopefully we can win for them this time.
Okay, thanks, Max.
Canadiens gave you your money's worth tonight in terms of making you work for that victory?
Yeah, I think we also we put them on their heels quite a bit too. I mean, it's a pretty entertaining game. You know, a lot of specialty teams kind of turned it a little bit, but real proud of both of our units there. Our power play and our penalty kill really stepped up tonight, and you know, I really liked our effort. I thought it was a really good bounce back from what we had done the other night against Vegas. You know, it was a real solid win.
All three of your goals, excluding the empty net, are just some great puck movement and kind of passing leading up to it, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, there was every one of them were. There were plays where guys found the open guys, and yeah, you know, there was. I think the chances ended up being 13-13. You know, both teams had some other looks, and you know, I thought both goaltenders were real good and had to, you know, were there for to make the stops to keep that close.
And just on that, you've seen Connor Hellebuyck make a number of spectacular saves, but where does that the one-timer where he doesn't have his stick, gets the blocker, and then kind of catches the pop fly, that must be high on the list of ones you've seen?
Yeah, there's some exciting stuff happen when he out there with him. He does, you know, he's always on pucks. He's always has a ability to kind of recognize what's kind of coming, what the next sort of situation's going to happen, and he always seems to know where it is. I'm looking all over trying to find it half the time, and he knows where it's in the back, right in his gloves. So.
Your Hellebuyck faced about 4 power play shots from line A, and obviously, you know, penalty kill, pre-scouts and whatnot, you're knowing that the one-timer's there, but on each of those shots, he was pretty square and positioned on them. Do you think that's a matter of familiarity with the player or just Hellebuyck's studying of opponents? Like, I'm just curious what you thought on
I think he knows the opponent pretty well.
Yeah.
Probably saw him an awful lot in practice. But for us, you know, no matter if it's, you know, it's line A, it's OV, there's certain players that you know that they're going to get their looks. We're kind of setting it up so that Helly is waiting for it. We don't want multiple options happening, whether it's into the slot or maybe it's the other flanker getting a shot. If Helly knows where, kind of where the shot's going to end up, he's set. He doesn't have to come from the other side of the ice and slide across to make a save. And so we don't want it to go, you know, in that case to Laine. But at the end of the day, we took away the other options, and that's where it ended up. And if he can see it and he can front and get himself big, he usually stops it.
The Adam Lowry goal, obviously a nice play by Nito before. Is that just kind of a poster example of what you guys want more of at 5-on-5 and what's made you successful this year?
Yeah, and I think there was some other good examples of that we didn't do against Vegas, where we did throw them. We threw some pucks in there and kind of created the explosion like we've talked about, created the sort of got Montreal on the run a little bit. But that was a nice play, and where Lau scored it from. You know, those are the hard areas. I didn't think we did enough of that. The other night against Vegas, I thought in the first, Vladdy's line had a couple of great looks. They were hacking and whacking in around there. Even Scheif and those guys were, you know, with KC, they threw some in there, and we went into those areas. And that's what you have to do as the games get harder and teams get tougher. They're not going to give you easy slot line, sort of easy backdoor plays. You got to go in those areas and get those goals.
The Nemesnikov line almost setting an example, and those are 3 of
Yeah.
the smallest forwards that you have. Can you use that as a coach? Does that fire you up, or does that fire players up?
And that's been the kind of just those guys, their MO. Even when Fly's with those guys, Ehlers, when he plays them, they're not all big guys and they're not all physical guys, but they use their quickness to steal pucks, and then they get in there and they, you know, they look to score in different ways. You know, that line tonight, I thought in the first period was one of our best lines, and they were going against the Dock line, and I think they were looking up at every one of those guys. A couple of times they were out against, you know, Anderson and Gallagher line, when those are, you know, some big bodies, heavy guys, and I thought they did a fantastic job of getting the zone time and getting those looks.
In the first, actually, right from the get, I think you guys probably protected the middle of the ice in your zone maybe better than against Vegas. So what went into that?
We talked about it. We worked on it a little bit. We knew that they were a transition team, some highly skilled defense that really want to be a part of the rush. And if we can, you know, and no matter who the opponent is, if we can keep them to the outside and, you know, allow Helly to handle those ones, not allowing the second and third opportunities in the middle, I thought we did a great job of collapsing back. And if it was that, clearing pucks out of there, or if it was the rush, if the rush chances happened, they came from the wide wings. And like I said, whether that was shot off the angle or whatever, we could handle what happened next.
What's your biggest takeaway from the homestand, taking 5 of the 8 points?
Yeah, I mean, you have to do that, right? You have to take advantage when you're home here. We knew what our trip was going to be all about, the 11-dayer, and when we come home here, you have to take advantage of your crowd. The crowd was a little bit lopsided, but at the end of the day, we took advantage here at home. I think that it got loud when we got up, and that's what you want. It was pretty crazy in here when Boston was in here the other night as well. So, it's all part of you have advantages at home, whether that's changes, kind of matchups, those type of things. I just like the way we came out and got our points.
Just quickly, what do you think of Colin Miller's game back in the lineup for you?
That was good. I think that they eat up minutes, and that's big. And there's times where they got out against some of those top six, and you know what? He's a veteran guy. He's been in these situations before, and he's handled it professionally. Thank you.